1, 2, 3. Ansary here, coming to you on today's date of March 29th, 2024. We're not going to be talking about solar flares right now, or war, or unrest, or conspiracies, or anything like that. Because right now, in this moment, none of that will save you from the types of threats coming to your energy field. You should by now know that you're affected by the solar flares. You should by now have listened to a few of my videos of how we're affected by this energy, this natural electromagnetic energy, and even if in this lifetime I'm not Bolo Yeung, the A-Man, Bruce Lee, or martial arts master, I am Ansary. And I have a lot of information in this lifetime, and you know it, that other people don't have, about a lot of different topics without being an expert, without having a PhD, without having gone to Portland State University like my mom, dad, and a lot of other, to be frank, political zombies that don't know jack about jack. Okay? So what do you know, woman? What do you know, man, about developing a few strikes and abilities to defend yourself and your loved ones without going down to a local MMA gym? Nothing wrong with going down to your local MMA gym. But can you drop a few guys that are clueless, that are stalking you and your girlfriend, like my friend the A-Man did in 1982? How many of you men out there have the confidence in you to strike and strike hard? Whether you strike first or strike second in a counterattack. How many of you have women and children in your life and you can't even move in a quick manner like an animal protecting his or her own? How many of you women are out of touch with your own strength? So today, we're going to be talking about basic meditation practices. We're going to be talking about circular motion. We're going to spend a full hour on it. We're going to play some music. We're going to work on strikes. We're going to talk about fighting psychology, and we're going to end it at 1 hour. Principles, not personalities. What do we do, class, when we are being inundated with this electromagnetic energy? We go out and we soak up the rays. When we can't soak up the rays and we need the vitamin D, especially for those of us that aren't completely white or pale, that may need more vitamin D. This is especially true for those that are black or African American, right? Of course, we have the technology of full spectrum lighting, which is cheaper than it's ever been before. I also have some aloe vera plants behind me that are growing at this time with the use of full spectrum lighting. This helps prevent depression. And when people don't have enough vitamin D, they can experience mental health symptoms, which I will identify to be spiritual attacks. Below me, ladies and gentlemen, is a grounding pad. You can learn more about these on the internet. I have this grounding pad centered, and I will be standing on this grounding pad as I train. I wear rocks and crystals, but I regularly take them off when I go to sleep. And instead of sleep with a cell phone on, I sleep at times either in silence or with an air purifier, and now listening to meditative music, Tibetan singing bowls, right? Not on my phone, but on a external MP3 player, which I'm about to hit play on to listen to my favorite Tangerine Dream album as we begin. And the purpose in this is so that I take in the magnetism of the music rather than listening to my headphones. And I have no interest in Bluetooth. I have no interest in this wireless headphone technology. I like the prankster a little bit, Vitaly, but I find his pranks and others about clipping the earbuds to be rude. I'm not a big fan of this wireless realm. So I want to say hi to the people in Portland, Oregon, and remind you, I was never just a conspiracy theorist. I was always somewhat of a Sufi, a seer, a mystic. I always had the ability to guide you in guided meditations. You never reached out to me. This is not a time to cry. This is a time for you to remember that you made a mistake when you didn't see me as a spiritual guide in these dark times. And you, the people of Portland, Oregon, of all people, are in dark times. There are people that I knew back in the day, they're on the streets now. There are even people in Portland, Oregon, that are being taken care of that have become evil. You need to learn how to reject the evil of the ionosphere. I may interview people that have a negative view of yoga. I have a very negative view of yoga myself, but I also take on certain yoga positions to open up my heart chakra. Nobody's going to tell me that the heart chakra doesn't exist. So this is where we begin. We're going to begin with a couple Qigong positions, and later I'm going to evolve the Qigong positions that I'm doing. I'm starting in my first year of doing these Qigong exercises, although I've been doing circular motion. The A-man did not teach me this, just so he hears this and you hear this. David Carradine did not teach me this. Bruce Lee did not teach me this. Alex Ansary's higher self taught Alex Ansary this. Just keep this in mind, that I've never come across a martial artist anywhere, but I do see certain martial arts movements in Hollywood to where these types of movements do take place, whether it be Steven Seagal, Bolo Yeung, or versions of Krav Maga. The circular motion is the principle here, even if there may be certain holds and jiu-jitsu moves that are applied, or Wing Chun, which is different. But there is a parallel between Wing Chun and this, so let's begin. Let's start with the Qigong warm-up. All right. So, this is the first time I'm doing this for a full show. The A-man taught me a lot, but not much about Tai Chi. But he did teach me a little bit about Qi breathing. While I can't demonstrate what he did, you can all Google Qi ball. Waist twist to activate. This is just my observation of YouTube. We're not going to be doing push-ups or cardio today, except for the step-in punch. We'll do that at the end. That will be your cardio. That will be your replacement Tai Bo. Sinking downward, breathing the energy upward through the feet to the heart chakra and beyond, and then down. So we're starting with 4 exercises. Releasing energy Visualizing the key. Are you getting the idea? You don't have to be even thinking about self-defense to do this. But you should be thinking about your energy. Summoning your energy, and you might already have a lot of it going on, from the solar flares. And then you might need to release that energy. Either you're going to release it this way in the streets, or you're going to find some adult content and you're going to release it another way, and maybe you have a moral qualm with addiction to that. And maybe in your last years on Earth, in these last days, you don't want to let these dark forces vampire on your key. You want to own it and fortify your shield. Visualizing a shield of protection around you. Another time for deeper meditations, but visualize the various layers of your auric shield being strengthened and grounded and purified through these moving meditation exercises. To the outside. This is what the A-Man taught me. This and the rest I evolved. So, an exercise would be for one partner, strike the other. And the other, so man and woman, you're going to do this. Also, for this, yes, that's important, but we're just focusing on you getting used to this hand and this hand. To the outside. Inside. Back and forth. Now. Same direction. So it's working all the muscle fibers all throughout here. So combination of weight training plus high rep circular motion plus high rep exercise plus low rep high weight exercise. Basic weight training during SOAR maximum should be done. Again. words about footwork, at minimum, at minimum, at minimum. Forward and backward. I am on carpet that is slippery. Okay, very, very basic. Again, to the outside, to the inside. So we're already getting into the aerobic zone. We're already getting, can you feel the burn? But we're not being political here. Okay, now we'll add the palm. Famous AA parry to palm. At minimum, every woman should know this. Okay, so come with me, honey. You Portland women are going to pay. No? Bam. And if you have something on your palm or something that you, oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Maybe you have like a real man that you mate with that teaches you how to strike in the event that someone tries to abduct you. But what do I know? I'm a nutter. I'm a nutter who believes that dangerous times are coming, regardless of your race. There's an algorithm that's targeting you. People. White people, black people, immigrants. If you don't know that yours truly has woken you up more accurately than most of the news and gives you spiritual advice and gives you other tips and information, like I don't know what to tell you. Okay? Okay, one hand, one hand. So, the palm. It's a matter of knowing how to strike with the hip, putting the body weight into it. All those fundamentals should already be developed. Okay? Then of course, you want to follow up with actual striking. Whether it be this, or stepping into the punch. So, punching will take a little longer. So, again, Qigong today, and circular motion, with a brief mention of strikes. Okay. We're already onto the palm, so let's see where we go on time and energy, okay? Okay. Now. Circular motion to strike. And then strike in the different directions with one hand. Okay, so. So we'll go palm. So we're doing a rapid parry and counter. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. Countering, preparing, they're coming at us. Here's another. Okay. The attack's coming this way. The attack's coming like that. The attack's coming like, what? The attack's coming like that. And you're centering. You're ready for this. You've already got that spiraling energy going in your aura, mentally. And you already got that ki going in a non-physical manner before you move. You've already got that lightning going off here. As you see this, aggressive behavior, intimidatory behavior, where they're going to act like they're going to strike you first. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, stir type of nonsense. Okay, again, stepping almost into it with a double block again. And again, this would be an exercise. Okay. So, this is obviously catching his... So you got to be quick enough to catch one of the... You got to be at least on it enough to catch one of the swings. So you catch it on the upscale, either here, or here, and there's different variants of the double block, from soft to hard. But once you're on the inside, it's elbow, backhand, elbow, backhand, elbow. 30 in Hawthorne, 13 years old, 1993. I bought a videotape that showed me that. It's like, literally, folks, intelligence is all around you if you're ready for your brain to grow beyond a derpy derp 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 derp, derpy derp derp derp, derpy derp 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 derp. You think you need to roll around on the ground in MMA and do that type of nonsense, learn how to strike and run? You're not being taught by the best of the best. In my humble multi-lifetime on this planet experience. You dig? Back to center. Opening up that heart chakra, getting that whole bubble going. Larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. Taking time to vipassana. Observing the breath in and out. Completely equanimous and neutral for a minimum of 90 seconds. I'm going to be spending more time away from email and social media. Comments are not open because I'm not ready to connect with you psychically until I see an advanced level of learning from my students, your students here. If you are uncomfortable with that, you must hit the unsubscribe button now, because I will be writing my own holy book to complement the other holy books that are already in existence, of which I must remind you, many Muslims and Christians today do not fully understand their own holy book in the way that I do. So go back and forth between wearing, this is tourmaline, go back and forth between wearing protective amulets and then taking them off, letting them recharge outside under the sun, on the grass, under the moonlight. Okay. We will work on strikes now and go back to circular motion. We are warming up for punch training. If you have a partner, do the following. Partner 1, stand here. Partner 2, stand here. Partner 1, twist your waist. Partner 2, when they twist their waist, push their shoulder. Again. Meet their shoulder without harming them. Let's just cover this now and come back to it in a special video. Okay. Step in. You're not seeing my feet, but it begins by practicing a spring step. You might find this humorous. Get over it. Let's just go right to the punch. Stepping in, stepping in, stepping in, stepping in, stepping in, stepping in, stepping in. So that right there is a technique that you will not learn from street boxing, but it is a street technique to deliver a maximum punch. According to people that have literally used it in right situations. Literally a jab, jab, and then literally a stepping in, delivering the knockout blow. With every muscle involved, the hip, the shoulder, the calf muscle, hip, shoulder, waist, everything together in one package. Hit the bag, but also the double-in bag, but also other bags. If you have a garage, you can buy a bag for 30 bucks, mount it this way. It's not quite a speed bag, but a bag that you punch back and forth. So at the very minimum, you learn how to punch. Let's talk about punch. We talked about step-in punch a little bit. Let's just demonstrate that slowly. Undercut, bam, 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 bam. So combinations later. Back to waist twist. Get it? You get it? 5 to 10 minutes. Work it. Work it. Next. Backhand strike, backhand strike, backhand strike. Bruce Lee and the Dragon. Not 1, not 2, but 5. You could also call this the windshield wiper effect. This could also be offensive and can be confusing. Imagine some high-energy freak coming at you like this. Literally, these hands are going to make contact with these, and if they're a wrestler or an MMA jiu-jitsu expert, watch out. Because this type of movement is like a cobra movement getting ready to strike, basically. Plus, using intuition as you move. As you picture that scene from Bloodsport, right? Where senses are so developed. And that's what you want to graduate to. The reality and where you have a partner. Partner 2, partner 1. Partner 2 can be Miyagi, the A-man, or anybody else who's not going to throw full punches in this case, but is just going to Partner 1, blindfolded or awake, or eyes open. Now, we're going to go one-hander strike, one-hand defense. The idea here is so that when you're grabbed, they're pulling you into the car with your legs, right? With your legs, with one hand, you're able to strike. A man survived a few riots that the Bloods and the Crips tried to instigate at a few clubs he worked at. And they came right at him in '94 and grabbed him by both hands, and he was able to get out of both arm grabs and drop both thugs, and then deal with the mob. We'll talk about that another time. But the secret to his success was the fact that he was gifted. He wasn't taught how to be a warrior and have that type of a game face to be able to survive what he survived on that day in 1994 at the club, which made the news in Portland, Oregon. It literally made the news what happened. The cops were scared to go in and deal with the Bloods and Crips. The A-man had no choice. It was his job. But he literally zigzagged throughout the ballroom, knocking out male, female, did not matter. They were there to riot. Anything that moved at him was dropping to the ground, period. Okay? And so, zigzagging around and hitting anything that moves and being very good at striking like an expert was absolutely necessary. Okay? And because the cops did not have that ability, the Portland police, all 10 cops of them, stayed on that boulevard in Portland, Oregon, and while the news and the helicopter were there, it was the A-man that was inside, dealing with what was almost a parallel LA riots type of situation in Portland, Oregon. My friend, and I have been trying to take that spirit, although I'm not a bouncer or a security guard, I am a man that believes in being a guardian of the earth against harmful forces, human and non-human. And a lot of you are going to be in the fight of your life soon when the grid goes out. And a lot of the conspiracy theorists of America don't work out, don't promote supplements unless they're selling the supplements, Jones, at a marked up price. Clyde Lewis, as if Clyde Lewis knows anything about prepping for real and helping the people of Portland prepare for what's coming on the wire. Okay? And so, you need to know how to strike and defend with one hand when one hand is disabled. Okay, so here we go. Warming up here. Now that we have 3-minute cool down, talking, warming up here, okay? Practicing that strike. What am I doing? 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 One hand is disabled, one hand is not. The hand that is not is moving in a circular defensive way. Defense and counter. Defense, the grab, point of the car, smash to the nose. It's very simple, sweetheart. Very simple. What's this? What's this? Mace. Mace. Mace to the balls. Mace. Boom, 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 boom. Not very complicated. Not very complicated at all. Paul? So, boom, 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 boom. You're a clock. You're a clock. You're a clock. You're not a human. You're a clock. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Clock, 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 clock. Clock, 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 clock. 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Hit the cross, 4 corners. Are you starting to get the picture? How I can move and communicate with my hands and feet. Let's go back to the 1-1. No, not this 1-1. This 1-1. Back to footwork. Other side. Okay? I'm going to preserve my energy here to go a full hour. When we had heavy solar activity, I remember doing 33 sets of push-ups. You conspiracy theorists are going too far. I did not do it by design. To predict wars in the 2020s, at the age of friggin' 33, at Mark Passio's conference. That was not by design. Okay? If Jesus died at 33, and there's 33 symbolism of the way-ho, and the sword cross is older than the Templars, what are you conspiracy theorists doing giving the dark forces all the power? I suggest instead of thinking about cursing people, and you know what I'm talking about, you stop giving these conspiracy groups all the power by saying that anybody that has anything to do with magic is of Lucifer. This is the same shit the mainstream Christians are doing. And in my opinion, their inability to call out these overseas wars, their inability to call out these misleaders, in my eyes, makes mainstream Christians that are not real truthers, but are guilt trippers to others that don't believe, quote, Jesus died for their sins. I see them as do as thou wilt Christians. They can do whatever you want, kill whoever you want, shoot whoever you want, and not face repercussions. As far as I'm concerned, you should never ever use brass knuckles on a person unless they're trying to kill you or beat your ass into the ground undeservingly. You should never use brass knuckles in a fair fight. You should never jump people with brass knuckles. But if you're being jumped by a few people, you have every right to basically hit them with the equivalent of a club over the head. And any society that wants to tell you that it's better to shoot them dead is a satanic society, as the song says. That, drum roll please, they want your soul. At this point, folks, we're going to talk spring baton. We're going to talk spring baton, okay? We're going to talk chi balls. We're going to talk self-defense. We're going to talk sweeping and mopping, right? Sweeping and mopping. I'm kidding. But yours truly is going to sweep and mop this floor when I'm done. I work out with this. I do push-ups with this. I get a deep push-up. We're going to work on strength training another day, right? But I've only been consistently working out for a couple of months, and I did not work out for 2 years when I quit cannabis. I did not work out or work on my punches for 1 year. It wasn't until a local thug decided to follow me that I decided that I would get back in shape in case I have to beat my neighbor's ass into the ground and involve the cops. So, when possible, document with surveillance footage. But if you don't have an actual wide lens of the situation, like what I dealt with in 2016, cops will speculate that you're a bad boy when they hear the voices in their head. There are good cops out there. Then there are cops that cause Antifa to do the ACAB thing. I don't do ACAB. Cops have their purpose. But cops that let people misuse the 9/11 system give good cops a bad name. There needs to be reform of the legal system. And if you realize now that I'm a super brain and not just a philosopher, a meditator, a martial artist, an off-grid rights activist, I have multiple abilities. And I'm asking you, the population, to email me, to join my Substack, to volunteer to help me, to bring me to Portland, Oregon, to take me on tour in Portland, Oregon, to take me on a speaking tour in Portland, Oregon, to where I speak at the largest venues. You, the people of Portland, Oregon, can make it happen. You can fly me in. You can give me housing. You can get me in the right hotel. And friends can drive me around, or I can drive myself around in a rental car to the Schnitzer or various halls in 2025 and do a slideshow presentation on fake news conspiracy trash, Russia targeting Portland, the truth about Alex Jones, how we need to have an off-grid movement, spirituality, psychic self-defense, how you're affected by the solar flares. If you don't know that I was on Coast to Coast AM like days ago, you might want to check that out. I was on Coast to Coast AM days ago. And because I talked about the Red Dawn scenario, because I had a cell phone, because my landline didn't work, they grew impatient and angry with me. And because I am a person of certain heritage, when I assert myself and I speak and I have that look in my eyes, people are showing me a pattern of calling the cops on me, and I'm starting to not trust people anymore, other than the people in my immediate circle. Folks, I have a damaged relationship with my mom and dad, and if that continues, it really is hard to develop trust with those of you that aren't responsive when I tell you about my trauma, when you only want to see my strength. So just so you know, I have every intention of creating content to where I only show you my strength, to where I show you hours and hours and hours of solar flare documentaries. I have a goal to make 8 hours, just so you know. I'm going to reactivate VHX.TV, just so you know what's up. And so you can watch my solar flare documentary on VHX.TV in 3 months or 6 months. I'm going to pull back from obsessive YouTube uploads, and I'm going to have a paperback about my life story. Okay? So in the same way that Buddha Dharma came to the Shaolin Temple to teach them martial arts when they were falling asleep, some of you that watch the UFC don't even know the first thing about defending yourself. You see these guys on stage doing this fighting, and you're like, I can't do that, I'm not a badass. I'm just a fat boy, I'm just a woman. And I just demonstrated to you that these techniques can keep you sharp, baby, and strong. You understand? Okay? Like I don't get past a certain level of strength because I don't juice. But I am determined at the age of 44 to show what a body can be developed after 3 months of working out when the sun is more active. So you understand that I'm not like hallucinating this idea that when the sun is more active, especially for those of us that are baby making machines, men, we become stronger. Now my lust level has been higher than normal because the body is getting the signal from the universe, you need to bear children, so there is a conscious society afterwards. You need to release aspect of yourself into the world. I'm not going to do that until I develop a deep friendship with the opposite sex for more than a few years. And being that I'm 44 and the level of consciousness right now on the planet is so low, I don't believe at present that I should be duplicating myself into this reality and allowing one of my children to be tortured by your world because they're my kid. Forget it. But will I teach some of you what I know and treat some of you like my children? You're not going to get treated like my parents. Some of you are trying to go into that route. You don't even know what you're doing. You are my students. You are my children. I am a child of God. And most of you are in such a white supremacist, ethnocentric, even those of you in Antifa on the left, although you won't admit it, that you will not see my power in me. You will continue to see flaws in me and the fact that I believe in deceptions and agendas, and you will hold that against me while not being accountable for your own Russia theories about Trump. You're so blind, some of you, you don't realize we agree on him. And it's actually worse than what you think. That's what is really sad about the situation, that none of you in Portland are willing to say that my life matters. So now that the speech is done, right, if you actually want to help me, you need to sit down and pray to God and go, God, show me how we can help this man, right? And actually do something. Put your money where your mouth is if you really want to evolve this soul of yours. Folks, no. It's not just about Jesus. Did Jesus tell you about the solar flare effect in 5G? Don't act like I'm usurping Jesus, because that's not cool. I'm the guy who's alive in your generation now, who's accurately warned you about Top Off 4, the Chinese invasion plot, the war on men and women, and technology. I talked about things that aren't in the Bible. Don't hate me because I'm different. Accept it and embrace it. I talk about things for the modern day and age that are not in the effing Bible, and I ask those of you that are Christians, Jews, and Muslims to wake the F up. I'm a child of God. And until you realize that I'm promoting God's law in a way that your pastors aren't, you will continue to be deceived and led to wars. And if you continue to be led to wars, if you continue to send your children to die in these wars, they're going to take your soul and you will find yourself in hell. I exist in your world now to give you the coordinates to get out of hell once you arrive there in a one-way ticket. You're going to remember my words in hell, boys and girls. And you're going to pray to the Almighty for salvation, and you will apologize for your actions, but that's really not enough. You need a change from the inside in hell to get out of hell. You must raise your frequency. And my suggestion to you is to start now. Don't wait until you get to hell. Start now with this show. Do not dislike this video. Do the opposite. Go to Portland Reddit and say, why are you censoring this man from speaking? Go to Timmy Ansary. If you want to get into my good graces, when I instruct you to do certain things, you do it and you do not backtalk me. You do it and you fulfill your task without an attitude. That's how we will progress together. Until that day comes, I'm going to stay in my own little matrix and world and teach you all what I know bit by bit in doses. Thank God for the woman that I loved in Portland, Oregon, who is facilitating this process, along with a man, an angel in human form, who is facilitating this process in Portland, Oregon. Okay? So, striking, you want to practice for striking with one hand in different directions. Okay? So, not only in the combo, boom, 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 from a ready position, boom, 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 having already practiced the knockout blow. Boom, 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 boom. So, we showed you before a combo. Boom, 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 boom. Or boom, boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Centered, boom, boom. Okay? Now, everybody should know who Bruce Lee is and what this is. Okay? It's called the 1-inch punch, and it's about putting your body into something. So, that would be your leg, your shoulder. This would be the whipping jab. This is straight. Straight. Okay? Whipping jab. Straight. Uppercut, shovel hook. Okay? Body hook, hook to the head. Okay? To the jaw, forehead. Okay? 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What are we doing here? Elbows in. Elbows in. Why elbows in? Elbows out like that, like a chicken. We have someone busting the ribs. Understand? So, again, here's this one. As you parry, strike. Closed hand now. Okay? From vertical to horizontal. Okay? Boom. 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 Okay? Boom. Okay? Boom. 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 Automatic. Automatic. Start here. But you should already be here. Once you get this down, and again, shadow boxing. Shadow boxing. And again, throwing in a few. This is going to work your abs. It's definitely not recommended to go old Bruce Lee in Taekwondo in a street situation. So the circular motion is not just for hands. The A-Man would talk about dealing with Asian martial artists in the 70s and 80s, mostly 80s, and how he would basically sweep them in the club off their feet. Well, they would come with those crazy kicks, something to the effect of the circular motion, and then basically with a story about his friend Mar from Sin City picking a guy up and throwing him basically through a glass window. Okay, so we covered this, we covered this, we covered the partner drill. Okay, you should already know this one. This is something, just pop your back, and then of course basic stretches. I have back pain, so I do this, and I also go feeling it in the upper part of the back. And then hanging by a bar. Hanging by a bar like this, very, very good. The A-Man told me to hang from a bar when I pulled my sciatic nerve, and the actions that actually brought me back to walking without a cane was getting on a bike. And if you're ready to laugh your ass off, the cane that I used was one of those novelty sword canes with a cobra head. So when I was hobbling on a cane, I had one of those friggin' like, wah! like scary ass, like, whoa, canes they used to sell at that, international store at the mall type deal. All right, folks. Recommended movies for you. Brain Smasher, Love Story, Horrible Martial Arts. I wonder if the director was doing coke. The A-Man did almost get into a fight with Andrew Dice Clay, just so you know that. I don't know what Andrew Dice Clay said to the A-Man, but the A-Man snatched him, physically grabbed him, and Andrew Dice Clay's security guard had to intervene and pull the A-Man off. And I'm assuming, it's really sad they didn't have him choreographed. The only reason he was in Brain Smasher, in case any of you wondered, is because the staff or the director for Brain Smasher, i.e. the cokeheads, I speculate, their movie was edited so bad, but I made it awesome. You're in trouble! What you gonna do? If you haven't seen my Brain Smasher edit, you have to go to my YouTube channel. I command in the name of the Almighty that you access your higher martial arts capabilities and go beyond. Go beyond. Now, Ironheart was filmed in Portland in '92 and features human trafficking mafia. And then you have Tiger Claws featuring Bolo Yeung, also better Bolo Yeung movie. And I'm actually feeling a calling, because Bolo Yeung didn't fulfill in his lifetime what I wanted Bolo Yeung as a soul to do, because the A-Man refused to. Bruce did it, but I'm not satisfied with Bruce Lee's books. I've read all your books. I know all your secrets. I'm not impressed. There's more, Bruce. There's more. Bruce, you didn't teach me this, but Bruce Lee did do you this in Chinese Connection, so he revealed to you the move. But his Jeet Kune Do had a lot of, I think that this parallels Jeet Kune Do, my style, but it's not Jeet Kune Do. And so I'm thinking about going to Tiger Claws, the '93 movie, TC 2000, and there is a section of that where Bolo Yeung is doing the circular motion. You know that boy can strike, you know that boy can lift, but that man can move in a very fluid manner. And so while the A-Man only taught me this and this, he didn't have a high opinion of Tai Chi, whereas Bolo Yeung seems to have a deep martial arts Tai Chi type of training that he can mix with Kung Fu, boxing, street fighting, that type of thing. Another decent movie that shows Bolo Yeung in the cage is Shoot Fighter. Okay, so those are decent movies with Bolo Yeung, where there's actually a lot of Bolo Yeung movies from the 70s, with just a lot of flamboyant moves. I never meant to just call him an actor. He is an actor. He is lethal, but I don't believe that he has worked as security in nightclubs, and I don't believe that he's been assaulted by the likes of former gang leader Brian Todd Mitchell, who, along with his gangbanger friend in 1994, set the A-Man up for an attack outside the Cisco and Poncho nightclub, which is now a video game arcade in Old Town Chinatown. They were bounced out of the club. Brian Todd Mitchell, who was written about at Willamette Week as a gang leader that was notorious, struck the A-Man in his eye, along with his friend. They both hit the A-Man in the same eye. They both set him up for a strategic blast to the punch, a blast to the head. And like a scene from Bloodsport, where the American guy gets Chong Li on the ground and starts going, yeah, yeah, yeah. Chong Li's just sitting there going, and then he gets back up, and then he counters. And that's basically what happened with the A-Man. He got right back up, and with one strike right between the eyes, dropped Brian Todd Mitchell with a ton of bricks. Now, do you think that the A-Man could have done that if he did a bunch of martial arts, or if he didn't spend his whole life developing, quote, the punch? Probably not. And so understand, you may have a fighting spirit within you that your ancestors had because they needed it to survive. Okay, so let's say a new lockdown is coming. A new lockdown is coming, okay? You now know that you don't have to go to your MMA gym to get your chi going. You don't have to think about violence, right, to do this. See how I'm also moving my waist with it? I'm getting kind of deep with it. And then you want to move your footwork with it, and then incorporate your strikes and your boxing, your Kempo karate, and like I referenced earlier, a little bit of circular motion, maybe even a tiger claw if you feel that confident, right? You never know when you're in a situation where it's life or death, and you might have to engage in what would be a unconventional fighting technique in order to get out of a hold or something, Okay? With that, I think we've covered everything. I want you to know about my internet presence. Okay? If you haven't listened to the Coast to Coast interview and you'd like to, you can find out how to do that online at the Coast to Coast website, or I may share it with you in the members area at Substack. More info on that at alexansary.substack.com. My heart goes out to the victims of the recent stabbing in Portland, Oregon. I just want to light a candle right now for the people that are being harmed. And I just want to tell you, what's happening right now isn't good, okay? But I just want you to know, folks, okay, I did predict this. I did predict this, okay? I did predict this. And so, I'm not playing macho man, tough guy, when I tell you that there are basic martial arts techniques and weapons that are legal, that will not kill a man, that you as a woman need to know how to use. Those of you that are women should be inspired by the likes of Cynthia Rothrock, who in Hollywood movies, various, was featured fighting the great Bolo Yeung. And notice how some of my striking techniques with this baton have a similar motive angle to the striking of the hands. You never know when you're going to need this, or maybe multiple ones. There was a black woman in my community, which is high crime, high catalytic converter theft, low empathy, no spirituality, no conscious local media, and no one who I give my YouTube channel to locally even cares. But I saw a black woman who was being attacked with her dog by another dog. It was literally 2 weeks after I started carrying mace, or days, or a week. So I was full of intuition, and it wasn't for myself, it was for someone else. So remember, when you put weapons in your car, when you put a mini bat in your car, you are not preparing yourself to go to war with gangbangers. And in many cases, your mother won't understand you because your mother wasn't attacked like you, and your wife won't understand you. And just like that scene where Rocky's trying to explain to Adrian, I'm a man, I gotta fight. You don't understand. I have to do this, I have to fight. I never asked you to stop being a woman. Please, Adrian, I'm begging you. Please don't ask me to stop being a man. And with that, we'll see you next week. Till then, I'm Alex Ansary, reminding you the path to the ultimate truth and place of power, wisdom, peace, spirituality, gnosis, the true Christ, the path to the true God still lies within. The website is alexansary.substack.com. Sign up for the newsletter and get all content, podcasts, videos, and everything to your